Okay, here we go again, OCR 2019, Maths and Mechanics. And we're on to question 6. Let's see what question 6 is. Put that to one side. Right, question 6 says, I think it is, so show we've got 6 cos squared theta equals tan theta cos theta plus 4. Can be expressed in this particular format, which is looking like a quadratic to me. So that's the way that might be going. And then you've got this weird looking graph. Diagram shows parts of the curve of that bit, 6 cos squared theta and y equals cos, so it looks like those two bits, doesn't it? Where theta is in degrees, and then solve this to random inequality, which looks the same as that one, except you've got an inequality sign instead of the equal sign, haven't you? Okay, so it's going to be it's all linked together, obviously. So we're looking for the regions these two, and then these two. Okay, so there's going to be 3 regions where we've got to be bigger than the graph. Okay, so let's have a look where we're going at there. So this question, so number 6. So first part is 6 cos squared theta equals tan theta cos theta plus 4. And we're trying to transform it into a new format. So what do we know? We know that sine squared plus cos squared equals 1. So sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals 1. And we also know that tan theta is sine theta over cos theta. Okay, so the bits that we already know. This is telling me, because everything in the actual thing we're aiming at. What's going on? Hello?
Is it alright if I get a chair?
Yes, got a chair. Somebody just walked in. That's weird. Right, so we're looking for everything in terms of sine squared. So it says sine squared, sine squared. So we're going to get rid of cos squared, basically. So cos squared, obviously, here is 1 minus the sine squared. So you just bring the sine over there. So we're going to have 6 into 1 minus sine squared theta. And tan theta is sine over cos. So sine theta over cos theta. And then you've got cos theta plus 4. Now, these are obviously going to cancel out there. So they're going away. Let's expand this one, so 6 minus 6 sine squared theta is equal to sine theta plus 4, and then move everything onto this side, so you get 0, we're going to have a 0 left on that side, we're going to move the 6 over, it becomes plus, so plus 6 sine squared theta, then we've got the sine theta there, sine theta, and we bring the 6 over, it takes away, so 4 take away 6 is minus 2, and that's basically what it says in the book, so it's the other way around, so 6 sine squared theta plus sine theta minus 2 equals 0, QED, all that sort of thing, or just smiley face. Okay, as required, I'd normally write as required. Okay, right, next step is to solve this random inequality. Now, the inequality is just this thing, isn't it? So we've got 6 cos squared theta, so 6 cos squared theta is going to be bigger than tan theta cos theta plus 4. Okay, so what's happening here? Right, so remember we moved everything to this side, didn't we? So what that's, well, what am I going to do here? What should I do? Yeah, so everything from here moved across to this side, didn't it? And then it turned into this formula. So it's important to understand that what's happening with the equation before I ended up here. Because when I move this over here, I get 0 equals the tan theta cos theta, that way, plus 4 minus 6 cos squared theta. And then I can replace all this bit with our equation here. So I've got 0, so this is part B, that way around, and then you've got 6 sine squared theta plus sine theta minus 2. Okay, now from this point we just know this is basically a quadratic. If you want, you can write x equals sine theta and just go from that point in. Let's just do that. So x equals sine theta. So we've got now, I'll turn this all around now, so I've got 6x squared plus x minus 2. If I turn around and turn the inequality around as well, it's going to be less than 0. So that's the inequality I'm going to try and solve. This is a case of can you factorise this bit, and this does in fact factorise. I'll show you my technique for factorising. So what I'll say is 6 times 2 is 12. You break this down into 1 and 12, 2 and 6 and 3 and 4. the way you make the 1 in the middle, so 1x is plus 4 and minus 3. And then I set it up a bit differently. Someone showed me this a while ago. It was quite neat. So because it says 6x squared, I'm going to write 1 over 6, which is a bit weird. And then I write 6x in a bracket, and I write 6x in the other bracket because it says 6x squared. So the 6x is in both brackets, and there's a 1 over 6 outside the brackets. And the reason that's there is because there's too many 6's now. 6 is a 36x squared, but we only want 6, so we've got to cancel out 6 from somewhere eventually. Put the numbers in, minus 3 plus 4, put the inequality in, there it is there. Okay. Then you've got to get the 6 out, so I can see both these numbers will divide by 3, both these numbers will divide by 2, and 2 times 3 is 6, so that's going to cancel everything out there. So when I factorise that now, I've got 2x minus 1, and 3x plus 2 is less than 0. Okay. This is now leading me into some sort of solution. So let's have a look what the solution is going to be. So we've got an underround. So if this was equal to 0, I'd be happy. Okay, so equal to 0, I'm going to get x equals to a half there, and x equals minus 2/3 from this version. So that would be minus 2/3, and this would be where the half is. Okay. So what's that telling me then? Then we want to be underneath the graph, so we need to be down here. So that's telling me that x has got to be between those two values. So I've got minus 2/3 is less than x, which has got to be less than a half. And now I've got to think, hang on a minute, x, wasn't that just sine theta? Let's put the sine theta back in again. So we've got minus 2/3 of that sine theta is less than a half. And at this point in the game, I need to grab my calculator. So if I grab my calculator now, I've got just undo that one. So we've got shift sine minus 1 of minus 2/3, so 2 over 3. And on my calculator, that's telling me it's minus 41.8. So I've got minus 41.8 is less than theta, which is less than, and sine of a half is 30, isn't it? Oh yeah, if sine theta is a half, then you can just check on your calculator. You don't need to remember that one, but that's true. Now, the next job is to get the other values, because when you press sine minus 1, you've got an infinite number of values, and just see what's going on in the graph then. So if I draw a nice little graph here, so a quick graph to figure out what's going on here. So look at this bit, and we're going up to 360, so there's 360 stopping up there, and there's our minus 48. So we've got minus 48 there, so that's a 41 bit, so that's a 41.8 bit. You've got 30 here, 30 there. So we're also there, would also be, I'll draw that graph a bit rubbish, a bit too low, then somewhere there, with me for that one's there, and it's going to be there, and then it's going to be there, and then it's going to be the end point. Okay, so we've got all these different values. Now this one here is, that's 30, and this is 180, that's going to be 150 there, so the 30 could also be 150, and then we've got, so we've got 150, so 30 150s here. This one is going to be the 41.8 plus the 180, so that's going to be, what's that, 221.8 or something, so 221.8. This next value is going to be, what's that, so 180, hang on a minute, 90, 180, 270, 360, 360 take away that 41.8, what's that, 2, let's just do the calculator, who cares, 2, where are we at, boom, 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 oh, I'm not happy about what's going on a minute, where are we at, so we've got 360, take away 41.8, so the answer is 101, no, what are you talking about, oh, I just add, oh yeah, okay, I did it wrong there, so sim minus 1, I'm just messing up here, 360, actually no it is, it's actually 318, so that's 318.1, 0.9 or something, wouldn't it be? Or 0.1 because it's 41.8. Okay, and then something like that. And then so we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3, and that's it, isn't it? Because then we're on 360, so we don't need that one. I just that put me off when I drew that one in. It just put me off. So the regions are going to be for our solution. Now it's not going to be this one because from the graph we can see theta is going from 0 to 360. So our solutions then are going to be So 0 to theta less than 30. The next value we come across is 150 less than theta less than 22 1.8. I'm going to put 222. And then the next one is 318.1, so 318 less than theta, and we could be also less than 360 because that's the end of the graph. Okay, and that's these points on our little picture. So that would be 0, there's your 30, this would be the 150 to 222, and this would be the 318, and that's up to the 360 where we stop our graph at. Okay, so there's our three regions that we could have. And the question says, solve the inequality. Yeah, just to solve the inequality, it doesn't say how many regions you're going to look for, but there actually is more than one. Whenever you do sine minus 1 or cos or tan, there's always the other values you've got to try and track down as well. Okay, bit of a hatch job with people walking in and me just getting confused by putting an extra dot in there, so I'll just stop on that one, number 6.